We're going to mention trading, so trading involves risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. All right, so love having to do that crap. Okay, so let's take a look at today's activities. All right, so what we're seeing here is the difference between gross realized profit or P&L and realized P&L. So for some reason, the extra trades that I took after I was done showed up here. All right, so let's before we get into that, let's take a step back here. So I had a call yesterday. I actually had an interview yesterday with a guy who is funded trader with Apex Trader Funding. You've probably seen a bunch of these interviews. I've posted some of them on the page here. If you've ever looked into anything Apex Trader Funding, you've probably seen a bunch of those as well. Anyway, so this guy, he's been trading for a few years, and he's definitely faced his fair share of struggles along the way. And we got to talking. We kind of started talking about what he called the trauma of trading, early trading, what I've always referred to as my scars, and how these kind of affect that discipline, that decision making, how you handle wins, how you handle losses, all this kind of good stuff. Anyway, we had like a 20-minute interview, and then we chatted for, I don't know, for like an hour afterwards. It was really kind of cool. Enjoyed chatting with him. Great guy. His name is Jeff. And anyway, so we got to talking about, well, you've possibly even heard me refer to them as, as my demons. Not to be hyperbolic or anything, but Anyway, so let's take a step back here. So anyway, when we were talking about discipline, we were talking about the different things that you can do to, to manage that discipline. So if you've been watching for a little while, you probably watched me go through this 75 hard program, which is really all about self-discipline. And it was great. I hobbled around for 45 minutes on crutches on my very last day because I blasted out my plantar fascia. And I couldn't move, and so the level of discipline that it took to finish that out. It was the last day. Really and truly, it didn't really mean anything to anybody but me and my wife. So she was very supportive and helpful. Of course, she was a little concerned that I was probably taking it too far, but nonetheless, all said and done, it definitely had an effect on the self-discipline and ultimately. I battled through it and I finished it and everything like that. Self-discipline in trading, in my humble opinion, you're going to hear me express my opinion a lot. The self-discipline in trading is a little bit different than your typical self-discipline that you're going to find in other areas of your life. Which one of the reasons that I think that what you can develop as a trader will have more of an impact on the rest of your life outside of trading versus developing things like self-discipline in your typical normal everyday life and then bringing that into trading. Look, everything is going to have an effect on everything else. But because of the dynamics of trading and because of just some of the just the dynamics, I guess, what I've seen, what I've found is that I can show a lot of self-discipline in every area of my life, and when it comes to trading, there's just a psychological challenge. And I'm not the only one, and it's not because of my scars or my demons or whatever bullshit you want to call it. It's just a different dynamic. So, I say all of that to say that, long way to get to this. He had a recommendation for me, and I accepted the recommendation, which was basically to commit to taking only 3 trades a day for a week. Good, bad, indifferent, it didn't matter. Just take 3 trades and be done. Because yesterday I took 10 trades. Now I won 5 and I lost 5. But of course, if you watch me trade, you know my risk-reward ratio is, askew, so to speak. I have to win 70% of trades to break even if there was no commission. So I really need to be about 80% plus. 80% plus has not been a challenge when I am on point. But that level of almost perfection, that level of just that very high level adds a significant amount of pressure. And so one of the things that I have struggled with is that amount of pressure, which is why I did weird shit all the last few weeks in terms of trying to identify different trades that would have a different risk reward ratio, that wouldn't require such a high level of perfection. Really, I mean, it's the only thing I can say. So anyway, yesterday I took 10 trades. I was down about $300. And so I thought this might be a good idea. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. 3 trades. 3 trades before I'm done. Now, I will still take sim trades. I will still practice other stuff, but I will not trade on my evaluations after 3 trades. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the week. So today was day 1. Now, today was an easy day for that to happen because I won my 3 in a row. Now, ignoring this number over here in the gross realized P&L, my realized P&L, as you can see, was basically 116 to 121 across the board after commissions. Where this number comes from is I continued to trade in sim, and I was no longer copying those trades over here. I don't know why it actually dropped that gross P&L into this column for these evaluation accounts. I don't know. But it did. Clearly there was some disparity between the leader and the followers. And again, I think one thing I've mentioned before is that when you win, a lot of times if there's a disparity, it goes in your favor. When you lose, it goes against you. And so if you're winning more often than not, a lot of times that little slippage goes in your favor. Anyway, not the case in this one. I did not make $250, $260 per account. As you can see, these numbers reflect the actual numbers that were in play. So, again, a win for me. I had a win yesterday in the fact that I stopped when I hit that max daily loss limit. I quit today after 3 trades. I did take a few more sim trades. Actually did pretty well on the sim trades as well. Go figure. You take the pressure away from the trades and all of a sudden that execution gets a little bit cleaner. Anybody who's ever gone from sim to evaluation or to a self-funded account knows the difference, right? So, anyway. So I say, look, this was just a great experiment for me to really focus in on the head games of trading. So speaking of the head games of trading, you've heard me talking about a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, about the coaching that I've been doing, and I was talking about the basic fundamental of the coaching, which is the code, which is stop fucking lying. And the biggest, of course, person that I lie to is myself. I think that this is pretty normal for most people. But when it comes to developing strategies for life, you have to be very honest with yourself, which is not exactly the easiest thing to do. Sometimes it's harder to be honest with yourself than it is to be honest with anybody else. Again, something that I have experienced many, many times. So one thing that I, of course, have to come to grips with, and I have, is the fact that my trading psychology is kind of fucked. So what does that mean? That means that I have to, there's no trade that I could ever learn that will make me a good trader if I don't address the psychology side of it. So you've heard me reference this thing that we call the stack. You've heard me reference, we actually posted one of my stacks yesterday. So that link, I can't remember what the link looks like, fire storage or something like that. If you open that up, that basically is this written out version of this thought process that, well, it is a written process that I go through every day. Some days I do it about trading. Some days I do it about my wife. Some days I do it about, sorry, I've got to crank up my AC. It got super hot in here all of a sudden. My apologies on that. Some days it's about, the affiliate business. Some days it's about the trader show. I mean, it could be about anything. It could be about working out with a trainer. It could be just, kind of a planning session for the week or whatever. So anyway, so you if you open that, you got to see kind of an example of how this works. Well, the whole point of this process is there's a whole slew of different ways of doing that. So there is like the biggie emotional kind of attack is a rage stack, and this thing is significantly more in depth than the one that I posted yesterday. Yesterday was what would be considered an irritation stack, which is like a rage stack light. So a super scaled down version of that. Because I have gone through so many rage stacks, I've probably done, I don't know, let me take a look here. Let's see here. Hell, let me, I can't do this on the fly. So if I select Rage Stack, whew, last one was on August 31st, and it was trading related. Maybe I'll post that one up. I don't know. I've probably done 300 of these things, if not more, starting in January of 2021. I don't know. Maybe I'll count them out. Anyway, the whole point of this is the way that this process works is it will guide you through a scientifically proven method of attacking the stories and the beliefs that you have. So this is something that I do every single day because I know the biggest challenges that I have in my life, in my world, revolve around my stories and beliefs. So when I struggle with trading, when I struggle with the psychology behind trading, it really stems around my belief or lack thereof that I can be a successful trader based on something that happened 25 years ago and that got confirmed 15 years ago and then got confirmed again about 10 years ago and then got confirmed again about 6 or 7 years ago. So as I mentioned, through this process, I've actually managed to learn and just taken some time on my own to study a lot of psychology in terms of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't like change. So if you have a deep-rooted belief, it takes a lot of evidence to get the subconscious mind to release that story or to release that belief, right? If it's very superficial, then you can get through this in a stack or two in some cases. But when it comes to stuff like this obviously is that deep-seated psychological belief that is held in the subconscious, and the subconscious doesn't want to let it go. So the more I go through this process, the more evidence I stack to identify or to disprove these beliefs that I have. And in disproving these beliefs, my actions will change. You know that most of your actions are actually conducted by the subconscious mind. They just sort of happen in the background. So this is why the secret and this whole world of manifestation and all of this has kind of come into play, because if you can get these ideas rooted into that subconscious, then your actions will naturally follow the path of least resistance to get to these arenas or to prove what the subconscious mind believes. So I go through this process every single day. Sometimes I'll do a couple of them a day. It's an intense process. I've gotten to the point, like, they used to take me a half hour, 45 minutes maybe to go through a pretty heavy one. There's some lighter ones that you can get through in 15, 20 minutes maybe. Nowadays, they generally will take me an hour to an hour and a half. Now, the one I did yesterday was not super heavy, and it didn't. It took me probably 45 minutes to go through. But when I say heavy, I mean that I am going through this deep, deep, deep process of attacking these beliefs that are held in my subconscious that are holding me back. It is no surprise that I was doing really, really, really well trading, and all of a sudden I came up to the point where I had already qualified for a payout in terms of my profitability. I had not qualified in terms of time yet, so I had to get over that threshold. And it's no surprise to me that I blew up and in 2 days blew 16 grand worth of unrealized profits. Why then? I'd been trading all year long, and this was like the tail end of June. So why then? Because I was so close to proving these stories and beliefs wrong that my actions basically I was my own worst enemy. My subconscious wasn't going to have it, and look, I'm not playing the blame game. My subconscious is still part of me. So fast forward, I was doing pretty well last week. I was getting to the point where I was pretty much prepped and ready, and it was looking like I was on a trajectory to get paid out by the end of September. I really wanted to get a payout because I wanted to be able to prove how what I'm doing works in the world of trading. For some reason, I felt the need to prove it in a way that really wasn't meaningful in terms of fulfilling what I know I can fulfill. But anyway, I thought that this would look really cool, and then all of a sudden, I blew up. Twice. And I had to start over. It's when I get really in my head and I can start to see that light at the end of the tunnel, my subconscious doesn't like it. And so as I continue down this road, and obviously these are some deep scars, some deep demons, if you will, I continue to go through this process because every single time I'm uncovering more and more and more, and I am showing myself via my conscious mind into my subconscious mind that I am actually a pretty capable trader. I'm actually pretty good. When I'm on point, when I'm focused, and when I don't let all the bullshit get in the way, my trading is actually pretty good. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say it's September 6, 2023. And I still want to prove to you how effective this process is in the world of trading. So keep an eye on me. Watch what's going to happen over the course of the next 60 to 90 days. No, nothing's going to happen overnight, right? But watch me over the next 60 to 90 days. You will see what is actually taking place, and you won't see it all happen at once. It'll start to happen incrementally. I always love the saying is like, people always talk about the overnight success, and what you never see with that overnight success is all of the years and hard work that it took to be poised to be an overnight success. So, anyway, as I've been doing since the beginning of the year, I am exposing the journey, which is why I've been trading live since January 3rd of this year, which is why I will continue to do so, and which is why I'm continuing to do things like this, which is also why I have opened the door to coaching other traders, other men, through this process as well. And again, no, I am not a trading coach. I am a trader coach. I will be coaching the traders. You use whatever strategy, whatever trading system works for you, wherever you are in that process. If you're just getting started, or if you are miles ahead and you're making 50, 60 grand a month, it doesn't matter. This whole process is about making a better life for you, which includes trading. Trading is just a fabulous way to bring it all together, specifically because of the financial opportunity associated with it. But at the end of the day, you want to look better and feel better and be healthier. You want to be more connected. You want to be more grounded. You want to be more in tune with yourself and with the world around you. You want to have a better relationship with your wife, with your kids, with your family, with the people that are closest to you. You want to make more money and have more satisfaction in your professional life. That's what it's all about. It's not about making you a better trader. The funny thing is that the net effect will typically make you a better trader. But means to an end. So anyway, I appreciate you guys joining along with me in this process. And again, I will come back tomorrow with some more ideas and insights, and I'll share more of what I'm doing with you guys. And if you are looking to make a change, whether it is specifically about trading or not, and you want to have a conversation and see what this might look like for you, basically what we can do is we can go through just a complimentary training session. See how it goes. See what it looks like. See if it's a good fit for you. And if it is, for the first 5 people, I will be offering one-on-one coaching over the course of the next 60 days for the price of the on-demand, which is a fraction of the price. So if this is something that you're interested in having a conversation about, shoot me a DM on Facebook, facebook.com/GAC Trader, or simply look up GAC Trading Pro. I know, disparity in the names, it sucks, it pisses me off, but it is what it is. Or you can simply send an email to support@gactradingpro.com. That'll get to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. And like I said, if it seems like a great fit and it all works out, fantastic. I look forward to working with you. And if it's not, no harm, no foul, no guilt, no shame. We don't play that game around here. Simply an opportunity to look a little bit deeper and see if something might be a good fit for you. Anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys. I love you all. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Oh, I better mention this. I did take one trade on the Simplicity chart. It was in Sim, and I lost big time, $405. So that is what that red is there. And then I took one on the 30-tick chart, which I've been doing remarkably well with, but that is kind of a, I don't want to say a gag trade, but it's not something that I'm real serious about, but I'm kind of curious about. So anyway, ignore those 2 numbers. Those are relatively meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Other than that, all the rest of them, these are the evaluations, and this is the Sim Sniper is the leader account that I use for the evaluation trace since I'm using the copier. Anyway, all of that. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. God bless. Have a great Wednesday.